Hey guys, it's Gamer Kef. So I thought I was recording before and I was not because I haven't used my webcam before. I hope the sound comes out okay, but that's okay. It was kind of a kind of rough take anyway. So but I hope you like my studio. The moon has been up there for a while. And then here is my favorite screenshot from Skyrim. I got it printed out at Kinko's because I was actually printing out this top one, which is my I made that actually. It's fan art for Final Fantasy VII. Um, it's on DeviantArt basically, but all of my artwork for Final Fantasy VII is kind of homoerotic mostly. But this is not necessarily. It's just Halloween and good family fun. Okay, anyway, so because see Genova, she's got because like Steph cut off her head and carried her around with them. It's so sweet. But they kept her and they brought her to Halloween with them. But also the jack-o'-lanterns and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't have to tell you how great it is. It's great. If you saw the game and you saw how serious and badass they all are, it makes me happy that I could do that. Okay, anyway. That's also my kind of my Disney wall up there. Ooh, you don't really see it. Oh yeah, I guess you do. This is a caricature that someone did of me at Lion or Disney's Animal Kingdom, but it was like so long ago. It was like half my lifetime ago. But anyway, uh, and then this picture of here is that one you can't see. Is in college there was a an amazing woman, Christy. She drew that of me in art class. And the one we partnered up, and the one that I drew of her was just awful. But hers like was all Disney style. She knew how to do Disney style really well, and she made me look like a princess. And so I've kept it ever since until it like, uh, it did what old pictures do. They like brown out. It wasn't like a piece of white sketch paper. It was a brown, but you could see a lot better than that. It's definitely yellowed with age. So anyway, uh, anyways, I'm rambling. But I was watching a movie last night with a new friend of mine. She's awesome. She's my friend and neighbor. We were She showed me Robin Hood Men in Tights one time, and I love that movie. It was like a good old revisit, or I don't know, what do you call it? It's like a retro kind of thing where you just watch something for old time's sake. Oh, nostalgic. It was nostalgic, yeah, right? But it was like my background movie whenever I saw background noise movie. Like you can do whatever creative thing you want, and you don't actually even have to be watching the movie because it's just so great. You can just listen. uh, but it's still funny and you still enjoy it. So I wanted to show her Young Frankenstein, but I actually don't have Young Frankenstein. I've been downloading things from the Xbox Marketplace, and it's not on there. It's not in the Xbox Store. It's not on Amazon Prime. It's unavailable for some reason, at least at this time. Prime Video. And it's not on any of the other, like, no Netflix, no Hulu. These are the only things I have. So, uh, I will buy it on Blu-ray probably one day here soon. It's not very expensive. I'll buy it. It'll be fine. We'll watch it because she needs to see that. It's hilarious. Madeline Kahn, Gene Wilder. I like love it when he. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, the best part to me. Okay, there's so many best parts, but one of the best parts to me was um one of my favorite bits was I guess they go, what the heck happens? There's this guy called Marty Feldman, and his part of his personality. He plays Igor, the Igor character, but he's Igor. Is he Igor? Or did he just want to? I think it was a joke. But like, he's the Igor character, and he like goes and steals a brain for Dr. Frankenstein, who doesn't want to admit that he's Dr. Frankenstein. He's like a great grandson of Dr. Frankenstein, but he doesn't want to acknowledge that they ever reanimated dead flesh. So he's like, my name is Frankenstein, you know? So he sends Igor to go to this lab and choose a really genius brain that he wants to do experiments with. And finally, when he gets back to Transylvania, Igor comes back. He gets in there and he's like, actually, I don't remember. This is terrible. I'm not a great joke teller, but he's like, I got one. I got a brain you wanted, and he's like, but promise you won't be angry. And then, Gene Wilder's like, I will not be angry. I love it how he's always like, I will not be angry. And then he's like, oh crap, I think I just messed up the whole thing. It doesn't matter. I'll have to like link you a clip of that because it's just awesome. If you haven't seen Young Frankenstein, you must see it. Madeline Kahn, she's amazing. But yeah, he's like, oh, I got it. Okay, he's like, whose brain did you get? Promise you won't be angry. I will not be angry. Abby someone. Abby someone. Abby normal. Because he grabbed an abnormal brain. Anyway. Oh man. Okay, so but we were watching that. I was trying to tell her how great Young Frankenstein is. I think one day I'm gonna show her because I like really silly movies. I like really silly ones. So like Transylvania 65,000 is on there. I laughed my ass. It's so silly. I laughed my ass off the first time I saw that. It was so long ago. I think it's like an 80s movie, but it's got like everything in it as far as monsters, Transylvania, Frankenstein, like there's a Dracula appearance, sort of. There's like a mummy appearance, sort of, a werewolf, so it's like all in there. But Jeff Goldblum's in it as a very young man. Ed Bigley Jr. is always great. Carol Kane is in it. She's awesome. So Peter Boyle, no, is that Peter Boyle? I don't know who that guy is. I think no, Peter Boyle's in Young Frankenstein, but there's a guy. Yeah, no, it's not him. It's not him. Anyway, so they're all like, I can't even tell you, I couldn't even do justice of like good quotes from there. They're good ones. If you have them, feel free to like put them down below because I want to see it again. But I'm gonna show her that someday. I'm gonna show her like the last remake of Beau Geste. That one is like, that's like magic, that movie. So it's really pervy. It's from like the 1960s. Michael York is in it. He kind of had me. So like whenever we watched Romeo and Juliet, we watched that old 60s one in English class when we were doing Romeo and Juliet. And he was Tybalt, right? He's Tybalt. He's also, the only thing I've seen him in lately is, and it's not lately, it was a long time ago, but Basil Expedition in Austin Powers. He's that guy. So, hello, Austin, no, anyway, that's him. But he's also this really handsome hero called Beau Geste. And I think it's after like a really old silent movie that takes place in the desert, black and white, French Foreign Legion, essentially. Marty Feldman's in it again, the guy who played Igor. Ann-Margret is in it looking amazing. She's like a living doll. And she sings really good too. You should check out her diva songs. They're so beautiful. She at least has one album out that I used to have. Well, at least the best of Ann-Margret. But she's, oh, man, I huge crush on her. I like divas especially. I like diva singers especially. But she's one of my favorites. So, and she actually still shows in Vegas. as far as I understand. And she rides a motorcycle. She's just like an original badass. But anyway, she's in it. She looks amazing. And there's a whole bunch of people that you probably won't know because you're too young. But one of my favorite movies growing up, even though it's kind of boring now that I look back on it, Disney's Robin Hood. Actually, it's not that boring. It's just, um, like it's back. It's it Disney's Dark Ages. Is that what they? Is that fall back or it fell back in that? But it wasn't boring. It had actually really good songs, but it's slower paced, and now everything's so epic. So I'm pretty sure to most of you it will be boring. But I never got over the fact that that viral video of that hamster that that guy. He's that is right out of Robin Hood. That is Robin Hood sped up to chipmunk speed. And it's like, does no one know this? Does nobody notice that? I bet they like make a living off that viral video. But I'm like, does nobody notice that that's exactly what that is? They should like do a callback to Robin Hood because it's like worth watching, and especially all the songs. But the guy who played Prince John, Peter Ustinov, uh, Prince John, he's like, uh, stop hissing in my ear, That's terrible. I'm sorry. But he's like, stop hissing in my ear. And he's like, mommy. And he like cries and sucks his royal thumb and stuff. But he's in that movie too. He's hilarious. Tangent. So I have all this stuff I want to show her, like really great old spoof movies, because old spoof movies are the best, and they're not that old, I'm sure, but they're getting up there. But it's back from the days for me, because when I was a kid, my mom got us Encore. She got it for like a summer, and then we just had it for the rest of my life living at home. But it was great because I don't know what it does now. I don't feel like it does this anymore, but it's great because when they first started, it was movies from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So I saw all kinds of stuff, especially stuff I wasn't supposed to see, like Tom Jones. You should watch that movie. That one's okay. Albert Finney. I feel like nobody's gonna know who he is now, but I know who he is. Okay, he's the original Daddy Warbucks. The original Daddy Warbucks. He's younger, and it's in the 60s, I think. And he's very handsome, and he's like the only one in the movie that I can actually pinpoint who they are. Except another guy I've seen in another movie just like it called Joseph Andrews. And that one is so raunchy. Ann-Margret's in that too. And that goes really, really, really far. But this is part of the reason why I figure I'm such a secret perv at times, because I watched all these movies I was not supposed to watch. Somehow, when I was renting movies, because I got on this Tim Curry kick ever since someone showed me Legend when I was like 10 years old, and he scared the crap out of me, but he's like this huge okay, so I don't know what it is about the horns, but it's virility, right? So he's like this humongous guy, and he's all about this little teeny weeny little girl. And there's unicorns and awesome stuff, fairies, unicorns, goblins. It's a really good classic cult, like level classic type movie. But honestly, I think they shot it. It was like a million. It was like at least $1 million to film it, a couple million maybe, for all those beautiful sets, and it's just such a shame it didn't do better. But I think maybe some of the story could have been better fleshed out. I don't know. But there's two really good scores for it. I'm sure that you've seen this in other movie, because people are, and they also have to be talking about how great it was. Hi! Come here. Come here. Come here, you. This is Grim. He will come up here and maybe be in the way, but I'm not going to pay him too much attention. Because, you know. Yeah, okay, so, oh, Tim Curry. I, like, had this whole kick. So, Clue, of course. He's in this awesome one called Pass the Ammo, where with Annie Potts. Him and Annie Potts, they make an amazing team. I feel like they were in the Pebble and the Penguin together voice, but I didn't actually watch that because I was too old by then probably. But I like this one. Bill Paxton is in it. If you know who he is, I think he's Chet in Weird Science, the original. Is there an original Weird Science? Weird Science, the not TV show one, the movie with Kelly LeBrock and the part of the Brat Pack Kids. Anyway, I'm sorry, this is so scattered. Anyway, Bill Paxton, yeah, so he's Chet. Him and Tim Curry and Annie Potts all in the same movie, and it's about Tim Curry and Annie Potts are like television evangelists. I think I found this one as a rental. This is back when you could rent movies in video stores. Of course you could. So you could rent videos in grocery stores, like all of them. So I like went and found all of the cultiest movies I could find, all of the campiest 70s horror flicks I could, 70s, yeah, mostly 70s horror flicks I could find. The only thing that, and this dates me quite a bit, but the only thing is I was not old enough to see Bram Stoker's Dracula when it came out. And my mother, for some reason, put her foot down about that one. She, like, had no idea what all I had seen by then, but she wouldn't let me see that one. So I, like, bought the movie book from one of the bookstores that happened to still be around before Barnes & Noble did it, like, bought out everything. Because we had, like, 3 bookstores in our mall and a couple of, like, CD shops and movie shops and a Suncoast motion picture shop. I don't know. We had all of that. And then Barnes & Noble came along and we've got none of it now. At least we've got a GameStop still, as far as I know. Anyway. God, I don't know. I'm so sorry. We're just talking like girlfriends here. I don't know. It's fun to talk to you. But yeah. So I have seen so much stuff. But I bought the movie book and I read all the stage directions and then I let my imagination do all of it. I even dressed up my dolls. I dressed up my dolls like some kind of Dracula, except none of my Ken dolls had long hair. And I used one of my girl dolls. I dressed them up like Phantom of the Opera too. Yeah. And yeah, I acted out this is really geeky. I acted them out, you know, like I had a stupid Raoul, I had Phantom, I had Christine, but I also had Carlotta because I like her. I like her so much. You'll step on my dress, why? Anyway, when I was talking to my friend here, I hesitate to like say her name. Her first name's not gonna hurt anything, but whatever. We were talking, and she talked about Schitt's Creek and how funny that was, and that was because I was trying to tell her about all the spoofs that I'd seen that I want to show her. I think I only brought up 3 of them. I definitely didn't talk her ear off the way I just talked your ear off, but she's like Schitt's Creek. And I was like, oh, Catherine O'Hara is awesome. And then I was remembering Beetlejuice. And then the line just came to me and I like missed it. But she's hilarious. She's like, if you do not let me get out of this house, wait, If you do not let me gut house this house and make it my own, I will go insane and I will take you with me. Oh. If you do not let me gut out this house and make it my own, I will go insane and I will take you with me. I don't do it as well as her, but I just had to try. So, I think I will link that below because it's hilarious. Like her way her eyes are and her faces right after she's done, and it's just hilarious. I don't know, it's so funny. So, yeah, I don't know what else. So I could talk forever, but it has no real point to, like, what I'm saying has no real point. It's just fun nostalgia. So, um, I I miss video stores though. I think I don't go to Red Boxes because I feel like there's just not enough selection there. But it's really worth your while to just buy a $10 to $12 DVD or Blu-ray of your favorite old movies, or just check some out. Mostly they're funny. Mostly they're funny. I check out the Amazon reviews, see what people are saying. But yeah, those are definitely some ones to check out because they are just so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I hope you have a good evening. Um, yeah, okay. I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.